All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, a remarkable season for the Cleveland Browns came to an end yesterday as they fell to the Kansas City Chiefs 22-17 in the AFC divisional playoffs. The Browns had every opportunity to win this contest, but they were unable to seize the moment. You look back to that Rashard Higgins fumble just prior to the end of the first half, and that was huge because the Browns looked like they were going to get a touchdown and cut into that deficit. We also saw numerous drop passes from these Cleveland receivers throughout the contest, and then the concussion that was suffered in the second half by Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. As Mahomes left the game, he never came back. And then Chad Henne had to take over, but the Browns simply were not able to capitalize on that. Of course, we saw the 3rd and 14 play late in the contest where the Browns defense allowed Henne to scamper for 15 yards, and that was big in that one. But make no mistake about it, the Browns did make some strides this year. They were 11-5, of course, their first postseason appearance since the 1994 NFL season. Their first win in the playoffs since 1994 as well. They finally were able to slay the dragon that is the Pittsburgh Steelers as they went on the road to Pittsburgh and defeated the Steelers in the wild card round. So that's big right there. Now, the Browns did show some maturity this season, but they have to show even more maturity to get back to the playoffs for 2021 and also potentially win the AFC North. Why? Because it's a little bit different when nobody takes you as serious. It's also a little bit different when they're not expecting you to do things. The Browns have now shown that they can be a playoff team, but getting to the playoffs every couple of years and getting there every single year is a difference, and the great organizations find a way to do that. So Cleveland as a whole must find a way to come back stronger and even better for 2021 because it's going to be more difficult because people are going to view them as a postseason team and they are going to play them even tougher. So now the Browns have to find a way to build off of this momentum. They have a young core. You look at quarterback Baker Mayfield. You look at the running backs with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Cleveland is hopeful to have a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. back at wide receiver for 2021. You also have Jarvis Landry, and you have a solid defense that includes the likes of defensive end Myles Garrett. So, they have a young core who's going to step up and be the leaders on both sides of the ball. We'll have to wait and see. Kevin Stefanski had just finished his first season as the Browns head coach, and he looks like, he's going to be the real deal for this organization. So, again, for the Browns, this was big. This was a good season, but at the end of the day, you look back on it if you're Cleveland and say, you know what, we could have done a lot more because that game yesterday was theirs for the taking. And that's what the good teams do. They go out there and they capitalize on the moment. And Cleveland, unfortunately, was not able to do this. And the Browns, they still have to go out there and find a way to reverse the curse. And when I say reverse the curse, so many bad things have happened to the Browns in the postseason over the years. You go back to Red Right 88 during the 1980 playoffs versus the Oakland Raiders. You go back to the drive in 1986 against the Denver Broncos. You go back to the fumble versus the Denver Broncos in 1987. The losing seasons that we've seen for the Browns over the years. And, they put it all together, but at the same here for this season, but at the same time, you can't just come back and say, well, you know what, we learned from this, we'll get them next year, because sometimes next year is never promised. So this is what I mean by Cleveland being able to seize the moment. And hopefully for their sake, they can learn from this. Hopefully they won't take 2, 3, or even 4 steps backwards in 2021. But they've got to find a way to build off of this. They were close. But close really doesn't get you that much in the world of sports. They've got to find a way to get better. Hopefully, for their sake, this will make them even hungrier heading into the 2021 NFL season. Hopefully, they could build off of this, take that next step as an organization, and really begin to change the culture that has hampered the Browns for so long. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you subscribers out there. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.